I married the perfect woman until a stranger at our wedding whispered something that destroyed everything. I used to believe that when you find the one, you just know. No doubts, no second thoughts. That's exactly how I felt about Emma. We met in a way that almost felt scripted. A random coffee shop, one spilled drink, an awkward apology that turned into a 3-hour conversation. She was kind, smart, funny, the kind of person who made everything feel easier. Within months, she knew everything about me. My fears, my past, even things I had never told anyone else. And somehow, she never judged me. That's why I fell so hard. Everyone loved her. My friends, my family, even my mother, who was known for being extremely hard to impress, once told me, if you don't marry her, you're an idiot. So I did. I proposed after a year and a half. She cried, said yes immediately, and from that moment on, everything felt like it was falling perfectly into place. The wedding took months to plan. It wasn't anything overly extravagant, but it was beautiful, surrounded by the people we loved most, in a place that felt warm and intimate. I remember standing at the altar, watching her walk toward me, and thinking I had won in life, that nothing could go wrong anymore. I wish I had been right. The ceremony went perfectly. The vows, the rings, the kiss, everything felt like a dream. And for a few hours it was. We laughed, we danced, we celebrated. People kept telling us how perfect we looked together, how lucky we were. I believed every word. Until the moment everything changed. It happened during the reception. I had just stepped away for a minute to grab a drink when a man approached me. I had never seen him before. He didn't look like he belonged there. Not because of how he was dressed, but because of how he carried himself. Nervous, hesitant, like he wasn't sure he should be there. He looked at me and said, "Are you the groom?" I nodded, confused. He took a deep breath and said something that didn't make sense at first. "You shouldn't have married her." I laughed awkwardly, thinking it was some kind of bad joke. But he didn't laugh. He looked straight at me and said, "I'm not here to ruin your day, but you deserve to know who you just married." At that point, my chest tightened. I asked him what he was talking about. He hesitated, then pulled out his phone. "Show me photos. Messages. Things I couldn't ignore. Emma with another man. Not old photos. Recent ones. Very recent." My first reaction was denial. I told him it had to be fake, that he was lying, that maybe he was some kind of obsessed ex. But then he said something that made my stomach drop. He told me the name of the hotel, the exact dates, dates that I recognized immediately, dates when Emma had told me she was visiting her cousin. I felt my hands shaking. I didn't want to believe it. I couldn't believe it. Not her, not Emma, but the evidence, it was there, right in front of me. I asked him who he was, and that's when the second blow hit. "I'm the guy she's been seeing," he said. I just stared at him. He continued, "I didn't know she was getting married. She told me she was single. I found out yesterday. I tried to call her. She blocked me. So I came here. I didn't know what to feel. Anger. Shock. Disbelief. It was all mixed together." He looked at me and said one last thing before leaving. "I am sorry. I didn't want to find out like this either." And just like that, he walked away, leaving me standing there, holding a drink I hadn't even touched. I don't remember how long I stood there. Maybe seconds, maybe minutes. But eventually I walked back inside. I saw her, laughing, smiling, talking to guests like nothing was wrong, like she hadn't just destroyed everything. I approached her slowly. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it. I leaned in and whispered, "We need to talk. Now." She noticed something in my tone. Something serious. We stepped outside, and I asked her directly. No games. No hosetashchen. Who is he? At first, she tried to play dumb, asked what I meant, but I didn't let her. I showed her the photos, the messages, and in that moment, her face changed. The color drained from it. The smile disappeared. And just like that, I knew the truth. She didn't deny it. She didn't even try. She just started crying, said it wasn't what it looked like, said it didn't mean anything, said she was going to end it. All the classic excuses. But there was one detail she didn't realize I knew. So I asked her something very simple. How long? She hesitated, and that hesitation told me everything. But then she said it. Almost a year. A year. Almost the entire time we were engaged, I felt something inside me break. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly, like a switch turning off. I looked at her and realized I didn't recognize her anymore. The woman I loved wasn't real. Or maybe she was, and this was the real version. I don't know. But in that moment, I made a decision. I walked back inside, grabbed the microphone. Everyone looked at me, expecting a speech. Smiles, applause, all of it. And I said, I want to thank you all for being here today. I paused, looked at her, then back at everyone. But there's something I just found out. And I think it's only fair that everyone knows the truth about this perfect marriage. You could feel the tension immediately. The room went silent. And I told them, not everything, just enough. Enough to make it clear. Enough to break the illusion. People started whispering. Some looked shocked, others uncomfortable. Her family looked at her, confused. My family looked at me, worried. She tried to stop me, tried to grab the microphone. But I stepped back, and then I said the final thing. This wedding is over. I took off the ring, placed it on the table, and walked out, just like that. No drama, no screaming, just done. The next weeks were messy. Calls, messages, apologies, explanations. But none of it mattered anymore. Because once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. And here's the real twist. Months later, I found out something else. That man? He wasn't the only one. There were others. I was never the only one. I was just the one she chose to marry. And that's when everything finally made sense. It was never about love. It was about convenience, stability, image, but not love. And the craziest part? I don't hate her. Not anymore. Because if that stranger hadn't shown up that day, I might have spent years living a lie. So sometimes the worst moments in your life are actually the ones that save you.